As the Legend of Zelda series continues to exist and grow older, it changes like anything else, each game introducing more people to the franchise, every game being different yet felt similar to each other. However, after the release of the award-winning Breath of the Wild, a brewing thought emerged, growing ever louder as the years went on, dividing the fanbase piece by piece. Is traditional Zelda dead? Today, we will cover the topic of traditional Zelda games, what they are, what happened to them, and if they will ever return again. But before starting, leave a comment what your favorite Zelda game is, and why. First of all, it's important that we are all on the same page. When referring to traditional Zelda games, we mean the older, more linear games. Think anything from A Link to the Past to Skyward Sword. What signifies a traditional Zelda are as follows. Having progression in terms of strength be marked by story progression, as well as the number of items unlocked. Having a coherent story. Having real dungeons. Having Piece of Hearts scattered around the world. Having one main weapon as the sword, also it being unbreakable. That goes for all other key items too. Requiring certain items to explore the world for secrets and story progression. That means having the world open up in a linear fashion. Now, I need to clarify that I don't dislike the new direction Zelda is going in. I actually really like it, but that's not what this video is about. New Zelda is open world. That means the game is more or less in the sandbox section of games. The ones where you kinda just get plopped into a world somewhere and then you get told to do a certain thing whenever you feel like it, followed by a good luck. Now, Zelda has its own spin on the open world genre, whereas most open world games still require you to traverse to different places in any manner you want to complete the necessary missions and such to continue in the game, Zelda throws that out the window. In Zelda's open world, you can go to the final boss as soon as you're done with the tutorial. Yeah. So not to get overly negative, but this is a major issue for me. Again, seeing as Zelda has always been about traversing a magical land alongside a great story building up to a fantastic climax. I mean, imagine starting Ocarina of Time and instead of going on that great adventure, you kinda just head for the castle immediately after leaving Kokiri Forest. And then as soon as you enter Hyrule Castle, you discover you don't need any special items to solve the rooms. Heck, there are no rooms, just a corridor with a couple of enemies. Just walk in and walk up. How lame wouldn't that be? Not needing to put in any real effort to get to experience that moment of finally walking up that big ass stairway. And yeah, I hear you scream loud and clear. It's optional. You can explore all of Hyrule to your heart's content in Breath of the Wild before going to the castle to fight Ganon. Hell, that's what I did. Because I actually want to experience all the game has to offer me. And look, I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but hear me out. The issue is I know that some people did ruin the whole thing by going to the final boss directly. And by ruin, I'm referring to the tension and again skipping the story or whatever there was of that. And to make things worse, seeing as Hyrule Castle has some of the best weapons in the game, some players would go there and get their stuff and then leave, making anything else they found in the world essentially useless. It's kinda like starting an RPG and then using some cheat to get the best equipment at the beginning of the game. That just ruins the challenge and ultimately leads to nothing but a mediocre experience since nothing ever challenges you. But it's up to personal preference, I hear you say. And yeah, that's correct. However, my main counterpoint to that argument is that most people nowadays only play big adventure games once. Very rarely outside speedrunners and other gaming profiles online do people sit down and replay these long adventure games. This in turn leads to many people going to the final boss far earlier in the game and just ending it while there's still so much game left, then proceeding to never play the game again. Finally, selling the game as they think, well, I beat it, so why should I keep it? Okay, maybe I went a little overboard, but I had to say it. The easiest fix would be that you're at least required to do the 4 Divine Beasts in order to access Hyrule Castle. Still, Breath of the Wild kickstarted the new era of Zelda, selling an extreme amount of copies, and rightfully so, but realistically, after this huge step, I cannot see the series ever moving back and away from that open world nature that was set by this game. As expected, Tears of the Kingdom is pretty much a very expanded Breath of the Wild, and that's fine. But think bigger. With all of the new fans gained by the Switch's huge install base and the original Breath of the Wild sales, would Nintendo ever risk going back to a formula that's technically less demanding and may even offer less variety on how you play the game? From a business perspective, the answer is a resounding no. However, I think it's worth noting that Nintendo is a bit of an oddball company, and as such, they don't always make the most logical moves. Rare, excuse me. As time moves forward and new ways to play are tried out, we will surely see a new kind of Zelda at some point, but I doubt that Zelda will ever go back to exactly what we had pre-Breath of the Wild. We're more likely to see a hybrid game or something completely new than a full return to traditional Zelda. So then finally, is traditional Zelda really dead? No. As with anything in life, as long as you remember it, it's never truly dead. Traditional Zelda games will always have their own crowd, and I think ignoring smaller Zelda games such as the Oracle games or the Minish Cap is dumb. As such, I think the mainline games will continue to evolve, but the spin-off games will most certainly keep harkening back to that simple traditional style. And who knows, if the stars align, we might see a mainline traditional Zelda again. I mean, that's what I hope for, but only time will tell. The most important thing to remember is that we're all fans of Zelda, no matter which time frame we're talking about. And that's all that matters. Leave a like and subscribe if you found this video interesting. Stay safe, and I'll see you later.